Hey everyone, and welcome! I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for today's explainer. So if you've ever felt like language barriers are just, totally holding you back in your career, you are in the exact right place. Today we're unpacking a really practical guide, sourced straight from JCF's language series, and it's designed specifically for job seekers and expats working out in the Gulf. We're going to break down the absolutely essential English you need to not just survive your workday, but to literally thrive in a professional environment. We're mapping out exactly what you need to know so you can lock this in and start using it today.
I want you to picture something for a second. Imagine stepping into a room, maybe it's a super high-stakes job interview or just a bustling office in Bahrain or Dubai, and you communicate your ideas without even a single moment of hesitation. How much further could you go in your career if you had that kind of unwavering confidence? Well, that is exactly what we're building today. Think of this explainer as your personal roadmap to confidence. We are going to completely remove the guesswork from professional English.
So, here's our roadmap for the day. First, we'll cover how to ace your job interview. Then, mastering office communication. Third is daily conversations in the Gulf. Fourth, perfecting your pronunciation. And finally, tips for fluent English.
All right, Section 1, ace your job interview. Walking into an interview is stressful enough, but doing it in a second language, that totally doubles the pressure. But here's the secret. You don't need a massive, complicated vocabulary. You just need clear, confident phrasing. The source material introduces us to this fantastic model named Sajeev, who bridges his native Malayalam thought process into crystal-clear English. He says, "I am hardworking, honest, and willing to learn new skills." Simple, direct, and honestly incredibly effective. He isn't relying on crazy jargon. He's just using strong, positive adjectives. This is exactly how you want to present yourself.
Okay, let's dive into the big one. It's the classic opening interview question, practically guaranteed to come up, "Tell me about yourself." Now, when the interviewer sits across from you, looks you in the eye, and asks this, they are absolutely not looking for your whole life story. They're looking for a professional snapshot. And here is the perfect, concise response. Sajeev answers, "My name is Sajeev. I've experienced in procurement and inventory control." Boom. Done. Keeping your answers tight like this demonstrates immense confidence. You state your name, and you immediately highlight your most relevant professional experience. It shows you respect their time, and you're focused on the actual value you bring to the company. Now, how do we handle the trickiest part of any interview? Strengths versus weaknesses. For strengths, stick to undeniable professional traits, like being punctual, responsible, dedicated. But for weaknesses, you can use a brilliant little strategy here. Try something like, "Sometimes I spend extra time ensuring quality." See what happened there? You're taking a potential negative, like being a bit slow, and framing it as a major positive trait, being detail-oriented and totally committed to quality. It's literally a masterclass in interview strategy. Moving right along, Section 2, mastering office communication. So, consider yourself hired. Now that you're on the job, office communication is all about clarity and efficiency. We can use what's called a bilingual bridge technique here. Basically, you anchor the English term to the Malayalam translation to ground your understanding, and then immediately throw it into an example sentence. So, invoice becomes, "The invoice is approved," or quotation becomes, "Please send the quotation," and delivery turns into, "The delivery is delayed." By instantly placing new vocabulary into short, actionable sentences, you drastically increase how much you actually remember. Let's see how this builds into an actual phone call. Telephone communication can be terrifying, right? Well, actually, scratch that. It's just intimidating because you don't have body language to rely on. A perfect professional greeting sounds exactly like this. "Hello, good morning. May I speak to Mr. Ahmed? This is Sajeev from Procurement Department." It hits all the right notes for sure. It's polite, it identifies exactly who is speaking, and it states your department. It instantly establishes you as a competent professional.
All right, Section 3, daily conversations in the Gulf.
So, the workday is finally done, and it's time to step out of the office and into the real world. Living as an expat in the Gulf means your English needs to actually work for you in everyday scenarios, not just in board meetings. Let's say you're at the supermarket. The absolute most fundamental question you'll ask is, "How much is this?" It's a straightforward, universally understood expression. You really don't need to overcomplicate it with formal stuff like, "Could you kindly inform me of the price?" Keep it simple. "How much is this?"
The cashier replies, "It is 2 dinars." And you follow up with, "Can I pay by card?" Notice that natural, rhythmic back and forth of a transactional conversation. You make an inquiry, you get a response, you ask a follow-up logistical question. Practicing these exact scripts over and over will make your daily errands completely stress-free.
Or imagine you're at a restaurant. The customer says, "I would like a chicken sandwich." The waiter responds, "Would you like a drink?" Notice that specific phrasing, "I would like." It's polite, it's standard, and it is miles better than simply demanding, "I want." These tiny little conversational formulas are literally the building blocks of your daily life abroad.
Section 4. Perfecting your pronunciation.
Now, knowing the right words is only half the battle. Perfecting your pronunciation is what actually makes you sound fluid. I want you to literally practice saying these specific words from the JCF vocabulary list out loud with me right now. Let's articulate them slowly and clearly. Ready? Work, word, world. Do you notice the slight differences in the mouth shape there? Let's try the business terms now. Purchase, project, warehouse. Taking the time to over-enunciate these alone in private will make them sound incredibly natural when you finally use them in public.
And finally, Section 5, Tips for Fluent English.
As we wrap up this explainer, we really need to pivot to your long-term strategy. Achieving fluency? Yeah, that doesn't happen overnight, and it definitely doesn't happen just by watching an explainer once. It comes from what you do every single day. The secret sauce is captured beautifully in these 4 steps from JCF's Daily Habits. Number 1, learn 10 new words daily. Just small, consistent growth. Number 2, speak English for 15 minutes. Not just reading it quietly, actually speaking it. Number 3, practice in front of a mirror so you can watch your mouth move. And finally, number 4, and this is crucial, don't fear making mistakes. They are literally the stepping stones to fluency.
I want to leave you with this incredibly empowering thought from the source material. Learning English is a journey. It is not a race. Every new word you learn, every awkward interview question you manage to navigate, every time you successfully buy groceries in a second language, these are all massive victories on that journey. So, I leave you with this question to think about. What one new word or phrase from today's explainer are you going to use tomorrow? Keep practicing, keep stepping out of your comfort zone, and I will catch you in the next explainer.